Hello guys, how we doing? Welcome back to the Free Hammers. It's the day after the game. I've had a little bit of time to cool down now. You know, when I first put the video out yesterday, I was still quite angry, you know, and disappointed that we haven't capitalised and managed to secure third yesterday. And that's why, you know, I put that thumbnail out about the worst performance of the season so far. But, you know, after calming down, you know, it's been, you know, nearly 24 hours since the game finished. You know, I can look back in retrospect and say, actually, you know, both the goals that we conceded were individual errors, you know, really comical individual errors. You know, they were howlers, absolute howlers. And, you know, for a long time of that game, a good, you know, hour of that game, we were down to 10 men. The fact in the second half that, you know, with 10 men, we was able to pull ourselves back into the game, you know, and at a point looked like the team that may go on and win it, and at least hold on for a draw. And then, you know, we just sort of towards the end just collapsed with the Willock goal, which was a great goal. Like I say, we didn't start the game very well. I thought we didn't press, and we didn't look like we had the same like energy that we've had in, you know, the previous games, you know, where we were blasting teams away in half an hour and then having to ride a storm and not be the team coming back like we were yesterday. You know, watching Match of the Day as well, you know, when you get a proper, you know, football person analysing it, you can sort of see how Newcastle's set up was, you know, exactly perfect for us. You know, they set their two defenders slightly deeper back, so there was never any space for Bowen or for Lingard. And obviously, you know, they had done their research on us. And it was true, you know, Lingard had no one there to, you know, who we could really play passes with. And there were certain players like Fornals who was giving the ball away quite a bit in the first half. And I think it was a tough game for them. You know, there was nothing they could get going, which was just incredibly frustrating yesterday. Like I say, again, it's another player that will need to be changed now, with Dawson obviously suspended now for the Chelsea game. That's an opportunity, you know, for Balbuena to come in. If he stays to free at the back, it'll be Balbuena, Diop and Ogbonna. Obviously with hopefully Masuaku coming back at left wing back. And Soufal carries on at right back, or he could, you know, he could put Soufal at right centre back and put Fredericks at right wing back for the Chelsea game potentially. There's a few things he obviously has to play about with there. Like I say, Johnson doesn't offer us the attacking threat that Masuaku does. And, you know, watching back a few of the channels, they did say, you know, yeah, we've played without Masuaku for a few weeks, you know, and he, you know, we haven't missed him then, but you start missing him when you miss him and Cresswell. Cresswell was definitely the biggest miss yesterday. You know, it's that quality of set piece, that quality of passing that we're really missing, you know. And Declan Rice, I see Gonzo say about him, you know, that just that player that can take the game by the scruff of the neck a little bit. And again, Gonzo said about the sharing 1-2 passes with Lingard, someone like Ben Ram being in there, or, you know, just Antonio to cause a bit of mischief up front. So in hindsight, actually, the fact that we, you know, for a long period of that game, we were down to 10 men and we did manage to drag it back to 2-2 at one point. And, you know, for a lot of the second half, we did look the better team until we went to 2-2. I think you've got to give, you know, a bit of credit to the boys, actually. And it's just disappointing because, you know, they're the only team, you know, out in the bottom half to have beat us, you know, outside the top 6 to have beat us this year. And they've done a double over us. I did have suspicions all week, you know, that this would be a bit of a banana skin. Newcastle always just seem to find a way to beat us, you know, and they are fighting for their lives. It's this time of the season, you know, where those teams at the bottom, all of a sudden they either, you know, it's make or break, you know, they either find form and get themselves out of it like Newcastle have now, or they completely capitulate and, you know, they don't find that form. And Newcastle have just found the form at the right time, wrong time for West Ham, unfortunately. Listen, it's still open, it's still there to be done, it's still there to be won. If we win the Chelsea game or even draw the Chelsea game, we're still in with a massive chance. If we lose that game, it may become quite tough to actually think of Champions League, but Europa League, you know, we should be, you know, still have enough. Even like if we lose to Chelsea, and even if we lose to Chelsea and Everton, you know, we should still have enough to beat those other teams around there. to at least secure, you know, Europa League for next season. Listen, it's not all doom and gloom. You know, it's just unfortunate. The injuries are totting up massively now, and you know, you can scrape by, you know, with you know, if you lose 1 or 2, but when you're losing 3 or 4 of your starting 11, listen, it's Cresswell yesterday, Masuaku, Rice, Antonio. You know, it's really totting up now. It's a massive part of your spine and your team, and the way we play relies on these certain players being fit. So it's a shame, you know, and it just, all it massively highlights is how thin the squad is, and you know, there's still quite a bit of work to do in terms of the amount of players we need to bring in and the strengthening of the squad in the summer. Anyway, guys, thank you for checking out this second video. Like I say, I've calmed down a bit now and reflected a bit more on the game. You know, with re-watching back the highlights and the analysis and stuff like that, you can take to account actually on the second half performance and the fact that we was down to 10 men, we didn't play too bad. Until next time, guys, come in your irons, keep believing. Let's go.